Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning for a few of you. Uh, Thanks for checking in for our workshop webinar on our Otto AI tool today. We have some new stuff to show you. As you probably can tell just looking at the screen, if you've already seen our tool, uh, and if you're using it, you'll note that the screen that you're seeing now is the screen that didn't exist before. So what we're rolling out, it'll roll out this evening and will be available to you tomorrow morning. The tool itself remains the same, but the different ways that you can interact with it are enhanced. So we now have a new. We'll just jump right in, and we now have a concept of a matter. And a matter is our new name for like a project inside of Otto. And a matter can have multiple sessions. And you can collaborate with your fellow team members on a matter as well. And I'll show this to you as we go along. But when you share a matter with a colleague, this would be somebody who is within, an authorized user within your firm or your company. You share the matter with them, and then they can see the sessions that you're working on within that matter. And they're not able to modify your sessions. However, they're able to create new sessions within your matter. So there can be, one session's yours, one session's theirs, and you're able to. I'll show it to you here in just a minute. But when you upload documents to a matter, those documents are available to all sessions within a matter, and you yourself can even have more than one session within that matter. Which means that if you have a set of documents that you want to work on within a matter, you upload those within one session, and then you can create a new session, but you don't have to upload those documents again. So what's been happened in the past is as you work on a matter or a project, and you want to have another project going along in parallel to that, or reset your project as if you hadn't interacted with it before, you'd have to essentially delete out, or you'd either have to create a new project and upload all the documents again, or reset your session, meaning you lose all of your the history of your interaction in that project up to date. So this is a new way to interact with it. So why don't I just go ahead and start showing you. So these are all your matters. Within this matter view, you can create new matters. You can delete matters over here on the right. You can delete. You can also close matters. So here, let me show you what that does. So this is just an empty matter. So we'll go back here, new project 4. And if I click close, it'll disappear. It's no longer here on this list. But if I want to see my closed matters, I can go over here, and there it is. Whoops, sorry about that. Let me go back here. Closed matters. And inside, so you have your list of closed matters. Now, these matters exist there. They're not being deleted. Those are matters that you want to close because you're not actively working on them anymore. Maybe you're completely done with them, but for some reason you want to keep on, hold of your previous interactions. Note, however, if you need to, if you have a habit of cleaning your files out to keep things from being available for discovery, or because you just don't need them anymore, they will exist inside of here until you delete them. So we'll just delete that one. Sure, you want to delete because everything will be lost, cannot be recovered. All gone. So it's gone now. Okay, so let's go back to matters. Go back to all matters. We want to go to open. Okay. So if we create a new matter, it just creates a session within that matter, and we'll say, let's upload a document real quick. We'll just drop a non-disclosure agreement in there. Oops, I want to click there. Sorry. I want to upload a file. Want to drop an NDA in there. And just say, please summarize the document for me. This is just a simple NDA. And just nothing of real significance here that it's doing. I mean, it's great to summarize things, but just to show you how to interact with that. And then we'll go back to the sessions once this is done. The sessions within the matter. Okay, so let's go back to view all sessions. And it automatically named it because I asked for an NDA summary. But if you want, you can click here and rename it as well. Now, if I want, I can create a new session, but you'll note over here, the document's already here. So I don't need to upload it again. So I select it so that it's included. But if I want that document included in every session within this project, I can pin it, hit new session. I have another new session that I just opened, and it's you'll see that the document's already included, or already checked to be included in any interaction. So if we go back to all sessions, whoops, you'll see that there's 3 now. So that's pretty cool. That's neat. All right. So let's see. Let's look at this project or this matter. View all sessions. Okay, so there's only one session within this matter. And you'll see I have, all these file histories here. And what I can do is I can select some to be included. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm using Apple Magic Mouse. And so sometimes if you move your finger a little sideways, it'll, let me just refresh this real quick. If you move your finger a little sideways, it'll change the page that you're viewing. There we go. Okay. We only want to use a few of these. And then you see that it says 6 hidden. If you click here, it'll show you the ones that you're not using. So you can just keep going, unselect the ones you don't want. So then you can click the eyeball again, and it just shows you the 2 that you are using. Again, you can select pin to force, any particular document to be included in any session, and so on. Okay, so then you can interact with, more than one at a time if you like. So let's just include all. So this is kind of neat. Let's see how this works. These are all file histories of semi-related, well, they're all related cases. They're all not necessarily in the same family, but they were all filed on roughly the same date, and they deal with fuel injection. They're all from one company. And it'll say, please draft 20 claims, including 3 independent claims for filing as a continuation from the 794-1994 patent. Okay, normally you would file that from an application, right? So this is a little nonsensical, but what we're doing here is just showing that you can take into account the file histories of all these cases, ensuring the claims are unique over documents yet supported by the 79994. Okay, so I'm going a little raw here, not knowing exactly how well this is going to work, but let's just take a take a shot at it. So I've done this before with these patents, but not with this specific text. So it gives us a disclaimer, and then it drafts a set of claims. Yeah. So this is also a good time to just point out that a couple things. First off, as I've said on most of these webinars, when when Otto provides you an output, you don't necessarily just want to copy and paste. You want to review what the output is, make sure that it is in fact supported by the documents that you're having the content generated from, and that it's accurate. There's a few things that it's not that great at, and that's not unique to Otto. It's kind of just AI in general. Math, anything that dealing with math, you need to be a little suspect of, at least a little suspect of. If you're creating detailed timelines from documents, you want to be careful about that. You also want to be careful if you include, especially now, because we've increased the amount of documents, the number of documents that can be considered at one time up to 25. The total number of pages up to 10,000. It's actually probably a little over 10,000 pages. The more information that you include within the context of what you're requesting, you increase the possibility of hallucinations or inaccuracies. So don't include excessive amounts of information in what you're asking it to do as far as like context goes. Keep it focused on what really matters, and hone in on what you really need so that you're more likely to get a better answer. And as we continue to build our own skills interacting with these AI tools, we'll get better at that, and we'll figure out ourselves what works better and what doesn't. But that is one thing to keep in mind. The more, just because you have the ability to include 25 documents at one given time and up to 10,000 pages or whatnot, that doesn't mean you do, because it will take longer to process, and it will potentially lead to more inaccuracies. That being said, you can only consider 25 documents at one time. However, here on the left, you could upload a very large number of documents, but you can only have 25 included in context at a given time. So only 25 checkboxes plus, 25 checkboxes total. So, okay. So this drafted a set of claims for us based on, this file history, and, it does a pretty good job at it. And again, you just want to verify that, it's, you're happy with the output. It's the type of the claims that you're content with, edit the claims as needed, and so on. Okay. So let's go, let's see now. Let's say I want to share this case. Okay. I can click share up in the top right. I did that pretty quick. I'm sorry. Right here, you can click share, and then you can enter the email address of somebody on your team. They'll get an email that they're included, and then they'll have access to it within their matter listing. So here, let me go back to the home, and let's look at one that I have shared with some of my colleagues. So I'll click on this one. See, this one has a lot of documents in it, 29 actually. Now I can click share, and you can see that I've shared this document with these two other users, or this project with two other users. However, you can select, this one is specified to only share with users invited to this matter. But if I select any user in this account, then this project would be viewable to any user within my organization. So that would allow them to access the projects, and they can access my sessions, but they cannot edit them. They can't modify them. They could view them, but they can create their own sessions within that project. So that enables some collaboration on that. So that's good. That's something that, these are, many of these things are in response to requests that we've had from users. Okay. One thing too. Let me go back over here. Not that one. I'm sorry. I want to go back to this here. I'm going to go on share. Okay. If I want to remove a user, I can click remove and then they'll be removed. They won't have access to the project any longer. Now, there can only be, I believe there can only be one owner on a matter. So if I change this to the owner on this matter to somebody else, that's fine. You can do that, but I believe you also remove yourself as a user. Oh, I'm sorry, not as a user. You remove yourself as an owner. You're still a user on the account or on the project. So, okay, let's see. Within a session, let's go back here. There are, within the sessions of this project, what you do in this session does not influence what you do in this session. Even though these are in a project, there's no cross-pollination of information between sessions other than the documents that you've uploaded. The only things that are shared between sessions of a project are the documents. But you specify which documents to be considered at any given time within a session, and that doesn't influence the other sessions. Okay. So we've shown you the collaboration, shown you how to access it, shown you how to manage the ability to transfer ownership, delete users from a matter, and okay, here we're showing you how to rename a session. I can just change the name in here. New name of session. That's creative. Click save, and you'll see it's there. Okay, so let's go back to all the sessions. And right here, if I click on this little pen on the paper, I can rename the matter. Matter with new name. Okay, you could put like your docket number on there. You can put the client name on there. You can give it the project name. You know, is an operation name, like it's a military operation or whatnot. Get name whatever you want. Okay, so I'm just going through a list here. What I have is a set of release notes here. These release notes have been put up on our support site, and these notes were included in an email that was sent out to our Otto user base. So you probably received these about a week ago. And we're going to go ahead and resend these again after our call, probably sometime this afternoon. So yeah, okay. Let's see. Okay. So just to be aware, I showed you all those documents that could be uploaded in a single project. You can upload a maximum of 1,000 documents. But again, I believe you're also limited to 25 documents at a time that can be considered. And 10,000 pages. Let's see. You can upload up to 25 files in a single batch. And the total batch size that can be uploaded at once is no greater than 100 megabytes. So if you upload 25 files and it's no more than, or it's less than 100 megabytes, great. But if you have two files together, total 100 megabytes, that's your limit. You can still upload more files, but you have to do it in a separate batch. Alrighty, let's see. Okay, so that is what's new directly in the AI tool. So why don't we, there's something else that I want to show you today too. We're doing just fine on time. I won't keep you a full hour today, but let's take a look at, let's see, there's a project, office action project. And this is a project that I've, shown quite a bit. Let's see, let's view all sessions. Okay, so this is, all right, so let's start a new session. We're going to include all of these documents, and we'll just say, please, what we have is an office action. We have an office action response shell, 3 references that are cited in the office action, and a copy of the application. We'll just say, let's use the playbook here, and we're just going to run the sample office action response generator skill that I set up in here. And we're just going to go ahead and just run all. We'll just do that real quick. And this will make more sense here in a minute, because I'm going to show you another way to do this, another avenue to do this through another mode of accessing our AI features that we're just rolling out pretty much today. So, yep, so you've seen this before. It's going to generate an office action response, and you can do it in here, and you can copy and paste into an office action response shell in Word, and that's great. Does a fairly good job. You may or may not want to use the response that's generated. You also, of course, want to make sure that you review what's generated to make sure you agree with it. Verify that any recommended claim amendments are fully supported by the specification, and so on. Okay, normal disclaimer type stuff. And this will keep going here. So rather than watching this keep typing, I'm going to change what I am sharing with you. So I'm going to stop share. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to Microsoft Word. And I'm going to show you our plugin for Microsoft Word, or add-in is the actual right term. Okay, I'm just going to start with a basic, plain old blank document in Microsoft Word. Let's see here. Okay. If anybody has any questions too, please feel free to type them in, and I will respond to them as quickly as possible. Okay, so we have a Microsoft Word add-in, and once you can search for it by going out to the add-in store that Microsoft has inside of Word. I believe if you go to Insert and then go down to Add-ins, then Get Add-ins, you'll end up with add-in store that pops up. Be sure that you select Store. And then within there, you can type Black Hills, and you'll be able to find our add-in. It's Black Hills, and it'll be Power Prosecutor Plus, but just search on Black Hills and you'll find it pretty quickly. So I believe if you click this add-ins button here, yeah, you can select, I think you can get to the store there too if you have that button available. But here I'm going to click on the plugin up here on the top. If I click automatic shells, if you're a Black Hills docketing customer, you get office action response shells for free. I think we've mentioned that before, but these are shells that have already been generated using an automated process. They're generated pretty much immediately upon receipt of a office action. So it generates this shell. We can pull this shell down. There's this template that it's using, needs to be updated just slightly. There's a font issue in it, but that's not that big a deal. And we can update that on our side pretty quickly. So I have an office action response shell. The claim status identifiers are updated automatically. All the claims are in here. It has the headers for all the claim rejections. Sorry if I'm scrolling too fast for you. So that's this, okay? So just real quick here, go back to the plugin or to the add-in, okay? And in here, I can also do things such as analyze the claims. This will generate a claim tree from which you can quickly determine whether or not you have any claim dependency issues, like claims depending from canceled claims and so on. So you can see here, this is generated really quickly. Everything looks good to go. You can also analyze the claims for antecedent basis. Now this plugin is included for our docketing customers, and if you're an Otto AI user, we can include it as well. Or if you want a trial. So in here, I already know these claims. I know that this is not an issue. I know it, but you'll note when I uncheck it, it and highlights these over on the left. I know this one's not an issue, but let's take a look at this one. I know that one is potentially an issue. But anyway, so if I want to look at just those, it'll highlight them in a different color. So that's useful. If you want to search for like this data or these words, you can click this icon right here. That'll copy the appropriate text to the clipboard, and you can do a find, and you can quickly move through what it might be. Notice it just took check data rather than the check data, so that can help you find your where there might be antecedent basis prior to that. So anyway, so there's a number of things in here on the antecedent basis checking. You can also get your electronic file wrapper, access to your electronic file wrapper here. You can click here. I can show you that in just a few. You can also get an examiner analytics report, but then you can also click here and you get access to Otto directly within Microsoft Word. It offers you a free trial and whatnot. You can request a subscription and all that. So we'll just hit OK. And then you can interact with the application here. So I'll show you a little bit here. Then I'm going to switch over to another one where I've already generated the content from it. So you don't have to, wait for the content to come. But let's see. So you can add context. First off, if you want to include this document itself as context, you can, click here, or you can select part of the text. You can tell it just to take the claim section, or you can take the whole document. We'll take the whole document. Another thing you can do is you can add context by dragging and dropping documents into the message prompt. So let's go back to the message prompt, and I'm going to drop in the office action. Let's drop it right in here, and then I send it. And you can drop in not only the office action, but also the references and any other documents that might be relevant. So you drop those in, then you can start generating an office action response. So what I'm going to do is I am going to stop share, and I'm going to switch windows and go over to one where this content is already generated. Let's see, make sure I get the right one. Let's see, I think it's this one. Oops. Oh yeah, that is the right one. Okay, there we go. It looks essentially identical to the other one, so I thought I grabbed the wrong one. But okay, I've already uploaded the various documents in here. It's this is taking into account the office action. It gives you some thoughts on the office action once you've uploaded it, and give you recommendations on how to proceed, which, if you're a seasoned patent attorney, you most likely don't need that. And it does the same with the references, gives you some thoughts on those just automatically. And then let's see, I uploaded the application. Okay, and then I said, please draft a response to each of the rejections included in the office action. So over here on the left, it's the same shell. I'm going to scroll down, and let's see, there's a 101 rejection. So let's just do this. Let's copy this. We'll paste it in here. It's going to come over with some formatting issues here. So I'm going to select just the text. And if I select the bucket, the color bucket, it makes it go away. We can change the font, put it the right size. And then as of right now, this is not taking the carriage return line feeds when it copies over. So that's unfortunate, but we can add those back in, and we'll work on that and see what we can do to take care of that. So then then you just need to find where the carriage return line feeds go. And then I think it's here. Okay. And then accordingly, this would be the last sentence, I believe. Right here. Okay. There we go. Right, and we can do that for the 103 rejections as well. I won't bore you with that right now, but we already have all these things uploaded in there. So another thing we may want to do here, I'm just going to show these to you over on the right. Oh, I thought this is funny. Bad sense of humor in Acme Data Company. So anyway, yeah, so what I did here as well is I asked it to take into account the application and the claims in this case to draft 20 claims, including 3 independents for filing any continuation application. And those are all right here. We did this right inside of Word without ever leaving Word, just except to drop, the context files in here, and you're able to do it. Boom. If you're an auto subscriber, you will have access to this. And if you're not an auto subscriber, but would like access to it, just let us know, and we'll, we can set you up with a trial and see if you want to pursue a subscription from there. So that's that. Just real quick, let me go back to the plugin, and I promised to show you 2 things. I wanted to show you the electronic file wrapper. So when I click on patent documents, it pulls the serial number out of the document itself, which one of the things that we'll want to do here, just looking at this on this shell, is that we need to put some formatting on that serial number. But anyway, so I'll click Open Patent Docs here. And what that does is that opens up a browser window that gives you access to the electronic file wrapper as if you were looking in Pair, but it's doing it without having to go to Pair. Okay, and then I'm going to click on one more thing here, and then I'll switch over to the web browser and show you those. But what I want to do is look at Examiner Analytics, and I will click here again, and that is generating the Examiner Analytics report, and that will pop up in the web browser here shortly. Yep, okay, so now I'm going to stop share and then share my web browser. Let's see here. I don't have any good stock tips up on there. Let's see. Let me keep that. Okay, so when it opens that document in the web browser, what it does is it actually downloads it. Depending on how you have your web browser configured, it could show up as a downloaded file rather than within a window. So let me just see if I can make it show up in a window real quick. Nope, I'll have to use Acrobat for that. So, okay, so I'm going to share. Here we go. So here's your electronic file wrapper. This is for the case. And the application was filed, specification, claims, drawings, and yep. This is an published abandoned case. So get all your electronic file wrapper here without even having to go to Pair or Patent Center. And, it looks like an electronic file wrapper. So you get in there very easily without having to remember your Patent Center password and so on. So that's great. So I'm going to stop share again, and then I'm going to share one more time. I'm going to share Examiner Analytics report, which we include for free. And this has our old logo on it. I apologize for that. It gives us an analytics report for what's going on with that examiner. So there we go. So there's some unique information for you about the Otto AI tool today and how we've integrated it now within our Microsoft Word add-in. Those are available. All that's available today. And if you have any questions about interacting with it, well, I'm sorry, I said it's all available today. The updated Otto AI through the web browser will be uploaded or updated overnight, and so you should see that in the morning. Um, as always, I just want to emphasize that we've taken a ground up security approach to make sure that all of your data and all of your interactions are secure. We use a zero retention API. All data resides within the United States. All processing occurs within the United States. So we don't have any export control issues, and we're committed to, data security and isolation. We use none of your data, not whether you've uploaded it, whether you've submitted a prompt or any of your responses there too. We do not use any of that data to train our models or anything like that. So your data is secure and it's not shared, it's not leaked, nothing. And we're committed to keeping everything secure for you. So that ends what I have to present to you today. I don't see any questions. However, if you have any, feel free to submit them. And if you think of some questions later, feel free to reach out to me at jhallenbeck@blackhills.ai. Let me see, I can put that on the screen again like I have in the past. I'll do that real quick. Let's see here. You can jhallenbeck at blackhills.ai. You can also, whoops, we'll see what happens when I type my email address into it. So that's me. Then there's also support at blackhills.ai and sales at blackhills.ai. There you go. Those are 3 addresses. Feel free to email. Feel free to ask us questions and get you answers to make sure that you're getting the most out of the tool that you're subscribing to. Or if you want to go ahead and get subscribed, happy to do that. If you need help setting up the plugin, feel free to reach out for that as well. We're happy to help. And if you need any demos for a broader team within your firm or your company, happy to do that as well. Additionally, fine tuning your prompts, we can provide assistance with that as well. Or figuring out how to save prompts and share them with your team members, or sharing projects and whatnot. So again, the updates that we showed today, the online ones will be pushed out overnight tonight. You'll see those tomorrow. We'll be sending an email out with a document attached that includes release notes. Going forward, we'll have a release about mid-month each month for at least the next few months. And then the webinar that we have monthly going forward will highlight those features, and also any additional use cases that either you as users ask for, or we think would be useful to show you new features and whatnot that we might have built into the tool to interact with your prompt. So that's what I have for you today. Again, I don't see any questions, but I'll hang out for a minute or two if you have anything. But I appreciate your attendance today, and thank you for working with Black Hills. And yeah, everybody have a great day. Enjoy the spring.